Howdy, friend. Spitz here, and this is Feed Bandit, the Texas First Outdoors podcast. If you ever want to get so far off the grid that the modern world completely fades away like smoke in the wind, you need to load up your gear, tie your canoe down tight, and drive all the way to the rugged borderlands of West Texas. We are heading to a place where the map ends and a giant, untamed ribbon of water carves its way through some of the deepest, most beautiful limestone canyons on the face of the earth. I am talking about the Rio Grande Wild and Scenic River. This isn't your average state park float or a lazy afternoon creek. This is a 196-mile stretch of protected wilderness where the river serves as the border between the United States and Mexico. It is a place of towering rock walls, hidden caves, and a silence so deep it feels like a physical thing. Today, we are going to dive deep into the world of this wild river. We will talk about its history, the animals that drink from its banks, and the exact skills you need to survive a multi-day paddle through this lonely desert paradise. So, pull up a chair. We have a lot of ground to cover. The Rio Grande Wild and Scenic River was established back in the late 1970s because our nation realized that this specific stretch of water was too beautiful and too wild to ever let it be changed by dams or big cities. It starts inside Big Bend National Park and runs all the way down into the lonely canyons of Terrell and Valverde counties. For millions of years, this water has been cutting through the stone, creating massive gorges like Boquillas Canyon, Mariscal Canyon, and the legendary Lower Canyons. When you are floating down at the bottom of these canyons, the rock walls can rise up straight into the sky for over 1,000 feet. It feels like you are paddling through a giant cathedral made of stone. The history here is filled with stories of native peoples who left behind beautiful rock art, Spanish explorers who called the river the Rio Bravo, and tough Texas rangers and outlaws who used the deep canyons to hide from the law. It is a landscape that doesn't care about clocks or calendars. The weather can be incredibly hot during the day, but when the sun drops behind the canyon rim, the air gets cool and the sky fills with 1 billion stars. It is a place that reminds you of what Texas looked like before the first fence was ever stretched across the grass. Let's get into the technical deep dive on how to safely plan a trip down this wild frontier river. My first big tip for you is to pick the right watercraft and prepare for backcountry camping. Because you will be out in the wild for days at a time with absolutely no cell phone service and no stores, you have to pack everything you need to survive inside your boat. Sturdy plastic canoes or heavy-duty inflatable rafts are the best choices because they can handle hitting hidden rocks in the rapids without popping or breaking. Put all your clothes, sleeping gear, and food inside waterproof dry bags and strap them securely to the frame of your boat so you don't lose your gear if you tip over in a rough rapid. My second tip is to pack 3 times as much clean drinking water as you think you will need. The desert sun is brutal, and even though you are floating on a river, you cannot drink the water from the Rio Grande. It is full of mud, salt, and minerals that will make you very sick. You must carry all your fresh water with you or bring a high-quality water filter that can handle heavy mud. A good rule of thumb is to carry at least 1 gallon of fresh water per person for every single day you plan to be on the river. My third tip is to watch the weather like a hawk, especially for the danger of flash floods. The canyons of the Rio Grande are very narrow, and if a heavy thunderstorm hits 20 miles upstream, a wall of water can rush down the canyon with no warning at all. When you pick a spot to set up your camp on the riverbank for the night, never sleep on a low gravel bar right next to the water. Always climb up to the highest bench or ledge you can find so you stay safe if the river starts to rise while you are asleep. My fourth tip is to learn how to read the river current to navigate the rapids safely. The Rio Grande has several famous rapids like Rockpile and Hot Springs, where the water squeezes between giant boulders. Always stop your boat before a big rapid. Walk along the bank to scout the path. and look for the clean V shapes in the water that show you where the deepest and safest channel is. If a rapid looks too dangerous, don't be proud. Just rope your boat safely along the edge of the bank and walk around it. My fifth tip is to respect the international border rules. Because the middle of the river is the boundary line, you must stay aware of your surroundings. You are allowed to land your boat on either side to scout rapids or avoid danger, but you cannot legally enter Mexico to camp or explore without going through a proper border crossing station. Paddling the Rio Grande wild and scenic river is one of the greatest outdoor traditions left in America, because it requires true old-school woodsman skills. It is an experience that tests your strength, your patience, and your ability to work alongside your partners. We call it preserve the tradition, because out on that river, you are living exactly like the early frontier scouts did. You are cooking over a small fire, sleeping under the open sky, and relying completely on your own two hands to get you down the river. Preserving this legacy means keeping these waters clean and leaving the canyon banks exactly as you found them. We never leave trash behind, and we treat the historic rock art and old pioneer cabins with the ultimate level of respect. Protecting the legacy means ensuring that our children understand the value of pure wilderness. In a world full of concrete and screens, we need places like the Rio Grande to remind us of the raw power and beauty of creation. It builds a spirit of independence and humility that stays with you long after you pack up your trailer and head home. When you stand on the riverbank at dusk and hear the owls hooting from the high cliff caves, you feel a deep pride in being a Texian. So what do you think of that? Are we right on target, or did we totally miss the boat on that one? Email us at howdy@feedbandit.com and let us know either way. And don't forget to check us out at feedbandit.com and grab some gear to show off your Texas First Outdoors pride. Preserve the tradition, protect the legacy, and remember, always support your local feed store. If you're there for them, they'll be there for you when you need them the most out in the field. Stand tall, fellow Texian. We'll talk soon.